If you want to work with a brand, we have to stop taking short-term decisions. I don't give a shit how rich you are, how much subscribers, how much money you have. I think a lot of the times the way you ultimately treat people speaks so much more powerfully versus all that shit. Okay guys, is it just me or is it getting hot in here? Because we're about to roast some of your favorite influencers. Get it? No? Okay. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jade, and if you're new here, what's up? I'm a 18-year-old entrepreneur, and today's topic is actually requested by you guys. A lot of people, maybe you're watching, create content online, and I think the biggest thing we're always curious about is how to grow, but also how to make a business out of it. And we've seen so many people become really successful on this platform. We've seen YouTubers make millions of dollars from making videos, selling their brands, merch, you get it. And I think so often we forget to think about brand integrity, which is why today I'm going to answer your guys' 3 top questions about how to build a sustainable business but keep your brand in check. So if you guys want to know more, and we're about to expose some of your favorite people, just keep on watching. I recommend actually grabbing a snack if you're watching. This video is better when you're consuming not only information but a food of some choice. So grab a snack if you haven't already. Hey Jade, you're super cool and I've been watching you a lot lately. Thank you. I am an inspiring fashion influencer and I follow a lot of successful bloggers in my niche. How do you engage a more mature audience that is more likely to watch than just be silent? Whew, this is a really, really good question. Like, I don't even know how to properly answer it. So let's see what I pull up out of my ass. Okay, so for anyone that doesn't know what's going on, I like to use the Selena Gomez or Miley Cyrus approach, right? These Disney stars, at least when I grew up, were everything to me. I don't know why, but these Disney stars, whatever they did, I fangirled over. I'll talk to my mom. I'll comment on their posts. When I was younger, I would watch her show every single time. But as I grew older, more shit happened. I got busier, and now I'm less fangirly. So this question is tailored to people who maybe are at the point where their audience isn't at a fangirly mode because they're so much more mature. I guess the question I'm always personally curious about is how to create an engaging fan base if your audience isn't at that age point. So if you're someone who's curious about that, this is what I have to say. When you think about it, there's a certain age point where, yes, your audience matures, they're less active because their attention is spread out. When you grow up, I mean, I'm only 18 years old, but I can tell you, when you grow up, you get more work, you think about money. There's a lot more stressful things that you keep about, so your time and attention for entertainment is getting a lot less, so your attention is ever so fleeting. If you really want to engage with a more mature audience, you need to be able to solve their problem. I think the biggest thing that a lot of fashion influencers do is, I would say, I'm not trying to roast anyone, but you know, it's kind of like a TikToker. A TikToker is someone who probably makes a lip sync video. You've definitely seen, okay? If you haven't seen one, you're lying. I know one of the famous ones is like Lauren Gray, right? And Lauren Gray, you know, you watch a cool little video, then you just like it and you swipe away. And that's the end. Because she's not really solving any problem. She's just dancing with her belly button open, right? Okay, hold up. I want to make a quick disclaimer and also say that if you're someone who tells stories or is a movie maker that entertains people, that's also solving people's problem. Humor and laughter is solving someone's needs, because when we are busy at work, you know, we want to relieve stress. So don't be limited to, when I say solving a problem, as thinking you have to be like an informative value teacher. You can also tell stories and add humor. Just make sure you're adding value to someone's life, whether it's humor, education, or motivation. I have a whole video about adding value. If you want to watch the video, I'll link it below, on ways you can do it without feeling overwhelmed. To answer this question properly, just try to stray away from TikTok type of content and focus on value-based giving. For example, story times, a lot of personal advice, Q&As, going into your audience and DMing them, asking them what are they currently facing. If you don't know, ask. There's fucking 7 million features on your Instagram stories to do Q&As and polls, so you know what your market is facing. And I think by educating yourself on what's going on, you're able to create engagement, because true engagement when we become older is just conversations, right? It's less of this like, yay, like I love you. It's a two-way street. My biggest advice, if you are trying to engage someone a little older, is to create conversations. And the best way to start conversations is by solving the problem and asking, how can I help you? I hope that made sense. I don't know. I do think it's interesting though, because I don't think there's anything wrong with TikTokers, and we love Lauren Gray. All right, so the second question is, I'm a fashion blogger too, and I want to collaborate with well-known world brands. Is it important that I concentrate on a specific location? For instance, if I'm from Russia, is it better for me to write in a Russian audience or gather in English? Do big brands give a shit about location? I'm struggling what language to decide from. Woo! Okay, we're getting into some detailed questions. Okay, first of all, you need to understand why you want to work with big brands, because one, it's typically a nightmare because big brands typically don't even reach out to most people. They have influencer marketing agencies. So you're just going to deal with the middleman, which AKA means they're just going to take more money from you. So just ask yourself, why do you want to work with big brands? If it's because you genuinely believe in Nike or because you like genuinely like this brand, like that's another story. But sometimes I feel like a lot of people just want to work with big brands so they can feel cool, but you need to know why, because it will bite you in the ass and sometimes not get you to where you want to go. For example, there was a big company that wanted to work with me, and I thought it was great because I felt cooler. It's a corporate big company, and I remember it was actually fucking horrible because they were so slow. Like, to make a decision, they have to go through their HR firm, enter a COO, and then they came back to me and be like, hey Jade, sorry, we don't have the budget for this project. What I'm trying to say is know why one, you want to work with a big brand. The second step is to answer your question about language. The answer is typically, if you are working with a big brand, you need to know where their audience comes from and who their customer is. If you want to work with Nike, right, and you feel like their biggest problem is they can't reach the Russian market, then speak in Russian because you're going to connect to your audience better. It's like this. The reason why you have to understand what brands you want to work with is because you want to help them essentially spread the word, right? So by default, ask yourself, does this brand struggle reaching this demographic? I think a lot of influencers are competing because they don't feel like they're special, but if you do speak a language, you can leverage it. I would definitely double down on your language because it just makes you stand out. And it's a tricky conversation, right? Some brands only want English-speaking customers, so it depends. You have to do your research, I would say. All right, guys, it's getting real hard. And if you're so far enjoying this video, please give this video a like and subscribe. On this channel, we talk about social media growth, starting a business, and I am here for you because I genuinely have a passion for helping you guys just grow your brand and hopefully, you know, give you some big sister advice or big brother advice. What? Yeah, make sure you guys like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, so the third and last question is by far the most important. I don't think you need anything else but this piece of information. Okay, so this question is also from Svetlana. You guys create really good questions. She asks, no one really talks about ethics and values of a brand. Can a brand turn you down because they don't want to be associated with you? Also vice versa. Can I turn down people if I don't believe in their product? So I think this can be solved in 2 words: brand integrity. If you want to work with a brand and, you know, match what they need, and also on the other end, find brands that you actually resonate with, we have to stop taking short-term decisions. I don't give a shit how rich you are, how much subscribers, how much money you have. I think a lot of the times the way you ultimately treat people speaks so much more powerfully versus all that shit. I can give you so many examples, okay? There is a, you know, famous case right now. There's a YouTuber called Brittany Dawn Fitness.
Instagram fitness influencer accused of scamming clients across the country.
Brittany Dawn took their money for fitness plans and then never delivered, and now many of them are taking those complaints.
She has a scandal about scamming her own audience. You know, we've heard about maybe the Jaclyn Hill scandal. We have to stop thinking so short term. I mean, yes, we need to make money, get our coin, sis, but how is this affecting your brand long term? And what does long term really mean? Like, stop thinking in 3-month cycles of like, what can I hit this quarter? But think about it, what do I want to hit in 5 years? Because when you think about 5-year visions, and again, going back to this initial conversation, like when you know your why you work with a brand, why you do something, you think longer term, which means you know what you stand for. So if a brand comes up to you, say, hey, Mr. John, I want to work with you. I'll pay you 10 grand. Will you do it? But you know deep down that this will long term collide with, I don't know, your morals, which is maybe not selling a product that's a scam. You're going to turn it down. And by doing that, you're going to save time, but not only that, your own brand and value, which is going to keep you longer term because your audience will trust you. I think so often we trade in trust for short-term benefits, and integrity is all about doing the right thing when no one is watching. So if you're someone who is still confused on how to keep brand integrity, here's my 3 tips you just need to know. It's really simple. Step 1, if you're trying to keep your brand integrity, step 1 is to know your why. Know what you want, like what do you stand for? Ask yourself that, what do you stand for? If you don't know, you're going to make short-term shit. You're going to shortcut your way into success. You're going to buy followers. I've done that. You're going to take deals that you don't really actually believe in. I've done that. You're going to make brands change you for who you are because you want the money. I've done that. Man, I'm a horrible example. I can give you a story time at the very end of this video if you want to hear actually a personal situation to me. Step 2, find brands that have your why. If your why is to stay ethical or stay, I don't know, beautiful in your own skin, don't take a detox product like a fitness tea, because it's going to collide with your audience, right? So find brands with a similar why. It's very simple. If they don't have an about us page about how they source their ingredients and you are someone who's ethical, you probably shouldn't take that brand. No. Actually, in one instance, there was this company that basically does Instagram growth automation, and they were going to pay me, I think, $2,000 for a video just mentioning their name. And I post hundreds of videos on this channel, but I remember my whole why is to build a brand long term and don't use shortcuts. And their why is to make shortcuts. I said no because I knew that it would collide with what I believed in and therefore break so many of my audience's trust and also my own morals and ethics. Again, brand integrity. So I guess step 3 is, like you heard, you need to connect your why with their why. And if that's a yes, you should be good to going to that deal and taking that money, because it's an exchange of staying true to your core and building a company off of good ethics. I know this is maybe basic information, but I feel like step 1 is so important. If you haven't spent 10 minutes just like sipping your tea and thinking about your why, please do that today. I don't give a shit if you are, scrolling on YouTube or really fucking stressed out. Just sit down and ask yourself why. What is your why? What do you stand for? It will save you so much more time and build trust. All right, guys, I want to quickly shout out to the comment winner.
Shout out to the comment winner. Comment on this post to be featured in the next episode.
If you want to be the next comment winner, just comment below your questions, your thoughts. Do you agree with me with brand integrity? How do you guys stay true? And let me know if you have any stories of other influencers that have fucked up, and maybe we can learn from. All right, guys, I love you guys so much. Dharma Nation, thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the episode 2 of The Startup. If you don't know what The Startup is, I invite you to my YouTube series, which is my story of how I grew my business, what I'm doing, and I hope you enjoy. If you haven't seen any episodes, I'll link a playlist below. I invite you to join and be a part of the Dharma Nation. All right, guys, I love you so much. Catch you guys in the next one. Tag me on Instagram, follow me, love you, peace, bye.